Hello and welcome back to Buffed Up in Cyprus. Brother Paul Harper, Night Order of Merit here, having a chat with Brother Nathan Bolo, who's been a buff for a number of years. Hello, Nathan, welcome.
Hi there, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, thanks.
Fantastic.
Now, how long have you in fact been a buff, Nate?
Close to 6 years, just over 6 years.
Okay. Now, the reason we're actually talking to you is you recently faced the examining council.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Now, I've got to ask, you've been a buff for 6 years. What prompted you to decide to take that next step in your Buffalo career?
Well, there are many aspects within the lodge where I decided that going for second degree gave me some kind of edge, a better edge, shall we say, within the order.
Right.
But generally, as a rule, I think it was just a case of I'd sat where I'd been first degree for quite a long time. Didn't have much time to myself. Didn't think I'd be able to do the revision and stuff like that needed to be done. And obviously then I had my holiday. So I sort of mentioned to Brother Noff, Pachialis, and I sort of said, look, I'm kind of interested in doing it. And next thing I know, it was kind of like a whirlwind event of, right, do this, do that, do this. And, right, you're ready to go for examining council. So here we are.
They kind of did whip you through it fairly quickly.
I think from start to finish, almost 3 weeks, I think.
About 3 weeks, yeah.
About 3 weeks.
So, if you were to sit there and be talking to, or someone was listening who's just joined and looks at it and thinks, oh no, there's a very daunting aspect to it. Is it that difficult? I mean, the fact that you whizzed your way through it in 3 weeks.
I wouldn't have said it was easy, but I also think that I have had a bit of an edge in the fact that I have had 6 years of listening to worthy primos of the lodge, a lot of influence from, shall we say, the second degree, third degree and fourth degree brothers within the lodge. So I had a bit of insight. It was just trying to get the wording, I would imagine. I think it was just getting the wording right, how it's actually done properly, shall we say. And there was still, even for me, there's certain aspects that I don't do very often. It's not very often it happens in the lodge. So to try and have to learn certain bits, yes, okay, that was difficult, and trying to get it right was frustrating at times.
I have to mention at this point that Brother Nathan is a member of the James Mercury Lodge, which is also my mother lodge.
Yes.
So there was a fair amount of ribbing going on and almost twisting a rubber arm to get him to actually sit examining council. But once you actually started the work, did you find it that complicated? I know some of the wording's a little bit sort of ye olde English, but
not overly, I wouldn't say. I mean, I was given all the tools I was needed, shall we say. So no, not overly difficult. Like I said, just a bit of time sitting down and sort of fine-tuning certain aspects I knew already, and just learning other bits that I don't hear that often, so therefore having to learn them from, shall we say, scratch. But the whole concept of it, no, not really that difficult to get to where you need to be for examining council.
I must be honest, I mean, did you find a lot of the brothers were more than happy to help out with you with sort of getting practice in and doing stuff like that in the lodge?
Hands down. Even I think it was within the second day of saying that I was going to start doing homework. I mean, I entertained a few brothers at my own personal home, and then from that we ended up going to another brother's house who's currently now studying for second degree. And yeah, we basically all come together. I mean, obviously yourself helped me out, and a big influential part was obviously Brother Noff. Spent a lot of his time actually going out of his way to travel from where he lives all the way to where I live, to sit with me and go through everything maybe twice, fine-tuning, 6 hours at a time.
And then a touch of gatter.
And yeah, well, as you do, occasional gatter helps. But a bit of graze, bit of gatter, learn what needed to be learned, and fine tune it. So yeah, no, it was very helpful, shall we say. Everybody in the lodge was very helpful, even my order putting me forward to go for examining council and stuff, so I had no problems whatsoever to go for it.
One thing that did amaze me was you're not you don't suffer from a lack of confidence.
Definitely not.
However, once you were doing the sort of panel of instructors, you were fine.
I know where this is going.
Last Tuesday, when Brother Knopf sprung it on you that you were doing examining counsel on the Monday, that confidence seemed to whistle its way out the window faster than Usain Bolt.
I think the confidence is there, it's still there. It was more a shock. I think it was more of a shock that I like to think of myself as my biggest critic, right? All the way through doing the homework, shall we say. There was times that I know it and I still made a mistake. And I was pretty tough on myself, as in for you shouldn't be doing mistakes like that, you know it. But I thought I would have had a bit more time. So sort of within I think it was maybe the 10-day period, I think it was, of actually from saying yes, I'll do it, to doing the homework I'd done, plus my normal, shall we say, day-to-day working hours, coming home, sorting out home duties, shall we say, that I have to carry out and whatnot. It was more quite a big shock to sort of go examining council on Monday. It was like, whoa, what?
Now they always say hindsight's a great thing.
Yes.
Having now sat through the exam, I'm not going to ask you too much about the examining council because you can't discuss it anyway.
Discuss that.
But in hindsight, was it as daunting as you expected it to be? The first part. Let's not talk about the second part too much. We'll talk about the first part initially.
Okay, so again, like you said, I am quite a confident person, so I don't mind standing in front of people. I don't mind putting what I believe to be correct over. At the end of the day, if it's wrong, if it's really wrong, then I would never have passed.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just went in there. Obviously, I think I can say it was a nice group of people. So at no point was it a scary factor. It was just trying to make sure that everything that I knew was correct. Like I said, I'm my biggest critic, so therefore I didn't want to make a mistake on something that I know. But nerves take over, so you might have made a little mistake here and there, but nothing major.
Yeah.
So I was quite pleased with how it all went. And at no point, like you say, at no point did I feel generally worried about what I needed to do.
Mm-hmm. Now you say the lodge, all the brethren in the lodge, pretty much were very supportive in putting you forward for examining counsel. Does that make give you any kind of feeling?
Well, generally, obviously, the brethren of, like you say, our mother lodge, I've done enough years there, so they obviously felt quite confident that they're happy for me to go forward and do it on the basis that I would probably be a credit to the lodge, going to second degree, maybe add something to it, obviously I've sort of thanked all the brethren for their time in saying that they would like for me to be able to go for second degree and take that opportunity. So yes,
it is kind of a little bit of. I know going back to my when I was sitting in examining counsel, it was like a little bit of an honour to have the lodge kind of push you forward and say, "Here's what we got."
Well, in all fairness, I think it was more a case of I was dragged there. That's what it feels like. It's
kicking and screaming.
You want to do it? Let's do it. And believe me, that's kind of what happened. It was a bit like being on a fun fairground ride. It was all a bit quick. It was all a bit crazy, but I appreciated everyone's time, all the help that I received to do it. I don't think I probably would have been able to do it in that time frame without the assistance of the said particular brothers. yeah, again, obviously I've had a bit of time myself to be able to sit down and actually learn the things I need to learn.
I was going to say, I mean, being in lodge for 6 odd years before you even looked at this, you obviously had a fairly good understanding of what goes on and how the worthy Primo acts when he's in the chair and various other things. Is there anything that kind of took you a little bit by surprise while you're doing the studying?
Well, yeah, there's certain aspects, shall we say, that I dealt with behind the scenes, that I have, shall we say, a general understanding of, but within obviously doing the homework for the second degree, you do seem to have to learn a lot more that takes place in the background. It kind of gives you an appreciation for how much actually goes on in the background. So obviously I can't say too much, but obviously just on that, obviously the forefront of what the lodge is where my best understanding is. But all the stuff that goes on in the background, all the paperwork, all the different aspects and bylaws that need to be, shall we say, kept to in a strict manner. So yeah, mainly the stuff in the background that I wasn't privy to in my first degree kangaroo stage. So obviously trying to go for second degree, there's certain things you've got to understand. So I would say the background stuff.
And also a complete and utter knowledge of the way bylaw 46 works.
Yeah, something like that.
just to explain to you, if you're unaware, bylaw 46 is a non-existent bylaw, and when we're doing charges, it gets brought up quite frequently because no one challenges it.
That's it. That's about the biggest bylaw I have a good understanding of.
Now moving on. The next stage for you will be raising. You're obviously looking forward to that because that is quite a special occurrence in your day.
Yes. But, I mean, obviously, when you become or get initiated, obviously, there is a ceremony, shall we say. So yes, it will be nice, and it will be a big one for me, really, because in hindsight now, being raised to the second degree is almost like, even though I've done 6 years, it's kind of going to be the beginning of what actually will be my Buffalo career, because now it's all about progression.
I mean, sitting as a kangaroo for that length of time, getting an understanding of things, getting your raising, and it does mean an awful lot. And as you say, it's kind of your progress through the order.
Yes, exactly, and it is exactly that. I mean, realistically, as a first degree brother, a kangaroo, I think that's the whole purpose of it. I think it's so you don't generally have too many responsibilities, shall we say, within the lodge, but it gives you the opportunity to be relaxed and sort of understand how the lodge runs and understand the brethren or the brothers that you've been initiated into. Get a feel for who they are, who and what generally you can do within the lodge, and just enjoy it.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, for me, I probably could have pushed to go for second degree a long time ago, but with other commitments, time and stuff like that, I just felt like I was in a comfortable place.
Having said that, did it take an awful lot of time out? I mean, you did it in 3 weeks. So that's fairly intensive.
Yes.
I mean, if the panel of instructors had said to you, well, you've got 6 months and we'll do it halfway through next year, do you think it would have been as it takes a lot of your time to actually do it?
I don't think it took a lot of my time on the basis, or like I said, I already had a real good understanding of what is said, how things are conducted. So again, I think for me it was just to be able to fine tune it in an aspect that is what is expected of a worthy Primo position or running of a lodge. So not necessarily difficult. Not for myself. I mean, if you had someone who come in as a new initiate and then decided that they would like to go, I would assume that they would need more time, because like I said, I think after 6 years I've got a very good understanding of how the order works, and a few items obviously that you can see within the lodge, so you get an understanding of some of the things that you're not doing within the lodge, you know. So yeah, it was very quick for me, but I think that was on the basis that I had the time put in already to make what I needed to do a little bit easier. But it's still not that easy. There's certain wordings, there's certain ways in which it's worded, which is completely alien to me, and I found it very difficult to try and get my head around them.
But it's not exactly something that's sort of all consuming.
No.
You know, it's something you can put down and go, I'll get back to that later, and it's not a problem to do that.
I think even now, generally, obviously, I've done examining counsel, and obviously I will be raised to the second degree at a certain point, but by no means do I think that there isn't still things that I need to learn or understand better. I think that's the best way I can put it. I mean, I've done what I needed to do, but now there's definitely still more there that I could learn and understand better, which will then probably improve my leading of the lodge when I might be in the chair. So, yeah, like I said, I think my career's technically actually just started to a certain degree. I've had a long period of time to enjoy the fellowship, the brotherhood or that we have within the lodge, the laughs and the other bits that are discussed, and when it's not so good and stuff, and you try and help where you can. But no, now obviously with that second degree, that responsibility, it opens up a massive avenue now within the order. There's a lot of places I can go and do different things now, whereas before I was kind of like, I can go to the lodge or I can be a visitor, whereas now I can take part in different aspects within the order, and obviously time spent go up in the order. So yeah, from my perspective, it generally does feel like my Buffalo career is kind of starting now, really.
So your both feet are now on the ladder. The first foot was on the ladder when you were initiated.
Yeah, I was
and
kind
the
of.
second
That's
foot will be
it.
on when you've been raised.
As a kangaroo, I was kind of footing it, and now I'm going up it with the support of with the support of the kangaroos below me, and the brethren that are above me.
Yeah.
So I don't really know what else to say on that aspect, I guess.
I've got one more question for you, because I won't keep you any longer, because I'm painfully aware that the gatter's calling.
Yes.
If a kangaroo is sat at home listening to this and has been thinking for a while about going for second degree, what would your advice be?
Well, my advice would be, if you're thinking about it, do it.
Yeah.
Because, like myself, I've thought about it many a time, and I've always had some different excuse. Be it, I haven't got enough time, I've got too much going on, work, different aspects and whatnot. And I put it off for a long time, and then I decided, right, I'm on holiday. I don't have to worry about all those other things. And I think I can say I approached NOF and mentioned potentially second degree, and obviously here I am now.
He snapped your arm off.
I think because I think over the years, I think Brother Noff has asked me many times if I wanted to do it, and I think I've given Brother Noff many excuses as to why I couldn't do it. And for me to approach Noff, I think that was a nicety, shall we say, for Noff, and I think he jumped on it. I think that's the best terminology I could use, and and all thanks to him. Do you know what I mean, for all the time he spent with me, and the assistance I got from the other brethren and whatnot, and I'm here now after examining counsel, having passed examining counsel. Just waiting for my raising, really, which I'm pretty sure is not that far off.
Excellent. Well, congratulations for examining counsel. We look forward to seeing you in the chair in the near future after your raising, Brother Nathan.
Thank you very much, Brother Paul.